Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Alinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please kindly consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. I decided to start the video by showing you how our brooder is looking currently before I started my talking, because I knew when I just start talking like this, our baby chicks would come running, just like you saw how they came running towards me. It's already midnight here in Uganda. It's the time when I'm making this video. Guys, the journey is getting more easier, if I may say, because we all know that when chicks are dying, they say, well, a farmer is not okay. Much as you're seeing her smiling, but she's really not fine. But I'm happy now that you can see the birds are very active, and those ones that are showing signs of not waking up the next day is they are no more here, if I may say. So at least I'm feeling a bit relieved there. But also I want to thank all of you guys. You've really stood with me through this time. Thank you for all the messages that you're sending me, the comments, the advice, everything we are putting into practice. Now the first thing is that I promised that we are going to add other sources of heat, of which you can see I've added them, and you really see how our birds are really very okay, running up and down. We now have 4 pots and that sigiri in the middle, but very soon we shall remove it. One of you told me that we must cover the pots, of which when these birds reach 5 days, I think 5 or 7 days, we shall have to cover the pots because they will start flying. And then about reducing our brooder room, of which all of you were complaining that the brooder is too big, of which you suggested that it should at least be reduced. I told you that the person who is in charge of doing that, who normally helps me here, was a bit busy and said he was coming in the evening, of which he failed to come. That's why up to now you see the brooder is still too big. But also we have another member in, I think, either Nigeria or Kenya, who told me that the issue is not the brooder being so big like this. The issue is making sure that the heat is enough for this bird. So anyway, I don't know what you think, because early morning the guy will be here and he will be doing the needful. So right now I want to talk about something that I actually mentioned in the previous video that I saw happening here, much as not so severe, but it happened to me in some flock that I had some time back. But with the birds that are laying right now, it didn't happen at all. But again, in day 2, I saw it happening with our chicks. So I wanted us to discuss more about it, because if we don't talk about it, it can even lead to mortality among our baby chicks right in the brooder here. And that is, in a layman's language, the dropping getting stuck on the vent of our baby chicks. I've seen this happen here. Actually started from day 2, much as not so many birds. I think around, if I can count, it is not more than 20 birds. But I saw that it was important for us to talk about it. Okay, now if we can see that baby chick there lying, I think I should just get it. I want us to know the causes of this and how we can prevent that. Okay, let me see. Guys, I told you that if you really want to learn about brooding, this is the best time for you to learn about brooding, because I'm really trying to be as slow as possible and trying to bring everything. And please let us check in the comment section. We have so many of our members who are really experts in poultry farming, are also giving us a lot of insights about this brooding and other things concerning poultry farming. So that's why I said this is a very big family where we are all learning from each other. So please always don't forget to read other comments. You will learn a lot of things there. And I want to thank all of you for all the comments, all the advice, all the encouragement and enlightenment that you are putting to so many other farmers out there through this channel. I'm really so grateful. And let me tell you, it has really made this journey very easy. Okay, this is one brooding that really gave me headache. Okay, that is the truth. It is one brooding that has really given me a lot of headache, especially seeing those birds die. Currently, the mortality, I think, is at either 24 birds, 24 baby chicks so far that we have lost. But we thank God that the majority of the baby chicks are so strong, but all because of your opinions and the encouragement that you've been giving me. So now I want us to talk about this. I want to get one bird that has it. Okay, we are also going to add the feet, you can see. And then one of our members said that, Sise, you have to rearrange that brooder because you have to put a drinker and a feeder, so that the baby chicks are able to access the drinking water and the feeders and the feeds at the same time. And you can see, I told you actually in the previous video that I decided to add those covers of the drinkers because I saw that some birds were not able to reach where the drinkers are. So I decided to bring it closer. So that is why you can see in the drinkers, in those covers, I've put also the drinking water. And by the way, they are drinking it very fast. So I'm really taking your advice into consideration. Seriously. I'm reading all the comments, everything that is happening in the channel. I'm making sure that I read and understand and implement. Okay, all right, so we got this. We are going to learn about this. I'm very sure so many of you farmers have also had this before, and this is very dangerous to our baby chicks, and there are so many causes to this and how you can prevent this in our poultry farms. Okay, in our brooders. So let me go and sit down as we discuss more about this. But guys, you can see now our birds are really active. Now, I woke up on day 2 and I started seeing this. You can see. This is the dropping that is stuck here. Oh my God. This baby chick is even so stubborn. You can see it. You realize that most of your baby chicks have this at their vent, and this is very dangerous in a way that it is stuck here. The bird cannot easily pass out the dropping, of which later this bird can even end up dying. So this is what I was talking about, and this condition is called pasty bat. Okay, I think some of you know about it. Pasty bat is a condition that happens when the droppings dry here and get stuck at the vent, and it blocks the passage of the waste, and this is not good. When you don't clean it, I told you that you can end up losing this baby chick. So I want us to look at some of the causes, and the first cause of this is the temperature stress among our chicks. When the brooder is too hot or the brooder is too cold, you're likely to experience this. And remember with our case, the first night of these birds here, I think since we were not prepared, my charcoal were not yet here, and I remember I bought only like 2 basins of charcoal, of which by morning it was already done. At around 3 a.m. in the morning, the brooder was really very cold, and I think it also affected our birds. That is why our mortality right now is at 24 chicks. So I think it is also one cause of this. And then so make sure that whenever you're preparing the brooder, it is not too hot or too cold. It should be at the right temperature. We talked about the temperature that is supposed to be inside the brooder from day 1 up to day 30, and so many of you advised me that it is not good to use that thermometer that I was showing you. So please kindly go to the veterinary shops, look for the thermometer for the brooder, always have it, and you try to take the measurements of the temperatures in your brooder. That will help you a lot from getting this condition. And then also another cause of that condition is the improper feed. If you give the feeds that is not, it has too much proteins, and it is not well balanced, okay? It affects these birds, and later on you will experience that, which is not good for our birds. And then also dehydration also causes this. That is why in your brooder, actually that is why I had to add some sources of water, because I realized that some birds were not reaching where the drinking water is, since they were stressed, they were tired, and since they are still young, very young, day old. So make sure that water is enough, because when the birds are dehydrated, they will end up passing out such stool which is thick and ends up sticking, getting stuck on the vent. And also make sure the water is not dirty, or the water must be fresh. If not fresh, now for my case, I've mixed the water with our herbal remedies, but I think the herbal remedies is really working so well, guys. Honestly, our herbal remedies is working, because you can see how the brooder is right now, especially if the temperatures are okay. The birds are very fine, playing so well. Then also another cause of this condition is stress, especially from this transportation. Now remember, our birds came from far, so that alone stresses these birds. Remember, even as the human beings, when we travel, we get we get so stressed, we get so tired. So how about these birds? It stresses them a lot, and can also make them to have this pasty. And then also the poor brooder hygiene also causes this. If the hygiene in the brooder is not well, water is overpowering in the brooder. Now, like for us, at least I can say our hygiene is not bad, because you can see the floor is not wet. Much as right now you can see the droppings everywhere, but our hygiene is not bad. It is not even smelling. The drinkers are clean, the feeders are clean. So you must make sure that the brooder is always clean to avoid such conditions happening to your birds. And then also another cause is the illnesses, especially these digestive infections, the bacterial infection, the viral infections. It can easily make your birds to have sticky droppings that will end up getting stuck on the vent of your birds. And then the sudden change in the feeds. Make sure that when you start giving these birds this particular feeds, do not keep changing the feeds. Now, like for me, I told you that I normally buy feeds from that company called Beanzika. Actually, I'm even marketing them. Okay, I have used it for long now, but there are also other feeds that other people say it is good. Okay, it's about what works for you, but I use this feed. So when I want to change again to another company's feed, I have to not change it at once. I can bring another feed, mix it in this one, and then I give to this baby chicks. Now, how can we prevent this? Of course, we have to reduce stress among these birds. We have to give them clean drinking water. We have to give them clean feeds. Sometimes also the feeds can be contaminated. Now, like these pellets, like it can cake so fast, especially if you don't store it well. You can realize that it has gotten caked, and since it is expensive, some farmers end up using it like that. So you always have to avoid contaminated feeds. And then you should always get those birds that are having that problem. You can get cotton and warm water, and then you clean around the vent very well. Then later you can even apply some oil there. Like you can even put the coconut oil in the drinking water round, of which I didn't do it, but you can get coconut oil, olive oil, then you just drop it in the drinking water for your birds. Just like you can use the liquid paraffin. But since we've agreed that we are not going to use synthetic drugs, we are purely going to go organic. You can get the coconut oil, drop it in the drinkers, in the drinking water. That will help your birds. And also you should also make sure that the brooder is the temperatures in your brooder is standard. Just like I gave you the standard measurements of the temperature that is supposed to be there. So I didn't purchase my thermometer yet, but you must have it as a farm. It's not actually very expensive. That is what I realized. And you have to hang it inside the brooder to keep on monitoring your temperatures. That is one way that you're going to prevent the pasty bat in your chicks, because if it is not treated, by the way, you will end up losing those chicks, and that is how some people end up having a lot of mortality in their brooder. Okay, so I've also changed the lighting. You can see here it's a bit, it's now at least bright. It is only the other side that I haven't yet changed the bulbs. We still have those hot ones, but I'm also going to change it very fast. Okay, so that is what I want us to really learn about these chicks, because it is not good. So right now we are going to give the birds the feeds. By the way, I didn't add for them feeds. Much as some drinkers are empty, some feeders are empty, I'm really happy because our birds are really feeding well. But another thing that I'm seeing, they are not picking the powder ones. I don't know whether, for those who have done brooding before, whether your birds are also stubborn like that. See, the ones which are in powder form, they are not picking it up. So I really wanted them to first finish it, but the rate of which they are eating is increasing all the time, and even drinking water, they are increasing their drinking capacity. So that means our probiotics is working, and I'm encouraging everyone, please let us use it. Some of you are telling me to buy the Agrovit and give them because the birds are weak, but we are all here for the herbal remedies. Now for the vaccination, we have all agreed that we are going to do vaccination. 99% of the members are going for vaccination. Some of you are telling me, sister, please don't risk. These are very many birds. Since you've been in losses before, please. And since this is my recovery farm, guys, I also made so many losses before in poultry farming. I lost millions and millions of shillings, and this is like my recovery farm. So since most members are voting for vaccination, I think we have to do the vaccination. So I'm going to bring the vaccination schedule that we are going to follow. We shall discuss it. And some of you do not have this vaccination schedule. We are going to, you'll be able even to copy it in your books. And then we are going to talk about the feeds. I told you this week they are supposed to have 12 grams each bird per day. So the next week we shall be talking about the grams that these birds are supposed to be feeding on, because it is very important for a farmer to know that. And I've realized most farmers do not have that standard feed measurements for these layers, even for the broilers. And then also we are going to talk about the weight of this bird. So we still have so many things to learn. That is why we are making videos twice in the day, morning and afternoon. So please, let's endeavor to watch the videos. We are going to learn a lot. And if you really want to know everything from A to Z without covering any story, it is through this channel I will be able to show you everything. So I'm just praying that in the morning we don't get mortality. One member from Zambia said, she said, you must sleep inside that brooder, because at least for 7 days to know what is happening, and of which that is not what I was doing. By midnight, I live here by midnight. Then sometimes even I sleep up to around 4 in the morning, then I come, which is not good. So today I'm thinking of sleeping here, by the way. Today I'm thinking of not going back to my bed, of sleeping here. So let's first feed the birds. Winnie, Bean. So since we have lost some birds, right now I'm going to give them 8 kilograms, because initially I was giving 8.5 kgs. So we shall keep on reducing as we eliminate other birds. I think we are going to stop now putting this in this card box, So I think we shall put this one in this side, this position, So you should make sure that you put the feed in all the feeders, and the feeders should be everywhere where at least the bird can access. That is why you see I have so many feeders. So many feeders. Even the breaking points, I've decided to add so many so that at least these birds can access the feed. Whichever corner they are, the feeds are always there. And what I'm doing, I measure once and add. Now this one is midnight. Why I put it at midnight like this? Because the ones we added last evening was not yet done. But other feeders were already empty. Wow. But I love it because our birds are really picking up well. They are now very happy, very lively. You can even see. Wow. So for now, that is all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you so much for giving me the courage and the strength to brood our birds. I promise that the progress is now okay. At least the mortality is reducing and I'm getting happier every day. See you next time. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section. Share with me your opinion. Share with me your knowledge. And don't forget also to read other people's comments. I love you all. Have a blessed morning. Bye-bye.